All right, we should be on air now.
All right.
Welcome everyone to Early Morning Madness. I'm DJ Mad Hatter. I'm sitting here with the face behind Mosiah. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Mosiah. How's it going? Shout out Honolulu.
Oh yeah, we're live here in Honolulu on 90.1 FM KTUH Honolulu. It's a great early morning, 1:23 a.m. What time is it there in New Jersey?
It is 7:23 a.m. out here in New Jersey.
Jesus.
It is bright and early.
Not sound like fun.
You're bright and early, and I'm like bright and early over here.
Yeah, this is me, especially being a college student. These are my prime time hours when I have the most energy for some reason.
Oh my gosh, you're giving me war flashbacks now.
Yeah. Well, at least you got some nice weather there. You said yesterday it was like all rainy and kind of gross.
Yeah, we have some clear skies. Jersey is doing well. It's been fluctuating, of course, but it's nice. I like the weather as it is right now. It's like nice, and it looks like a Windows background, which is nice.
Windows background. That's really good. All right, so you are Marcus. You're the lead guy. I just turned off my computer. Okay. All right, we're good. You're the lead behind Mosiah. Tell me a little bit about how you came up with this interesting music style of hip hop that you haven't shown us in Dax Next Door.
For sure. My music style actually came from a lot of different places. First off, my name actually came from my dad. A lot of people are like, "Oh, like where did you?" The first thing people ask is like, "Where did you get that name?" And I actually got that. My dad named me after Marcus Garvey, but his name was Mosiah Garvey. So
okay.
Marcus Mosiah Guerrier. And I played around with a lot of different names before like landing on like my middle name, and I think that name just felt the most like home because it was actually a part of it already. I was already Mosiah technically.
Nice. It's a pretty catchy name. I'll have to give you that. When I saw it, I was like, man, this has got to be a good song because he's got a poppin' name. And I think the first song I heard by you, I stumbled upon it randomly on Apple Music. I think it was Can't Stay in One Place. And man, after hearing that, I was like, wow, he's got a really funky kind of beat. So after hearing that, I was like, I got to check out the rest of his album. And then I saw you had, I think it was a single that I heard first, and then I saw you had the full album. I was like, oh, here we go. And it was one of those albums, like I told you before, I said it's one of those albums where you listen to it and you're amazed at how all the songs like are different from each other but all still really good at the same time. So that's one thing I'd have to say about Dax Next Door, my personal opinion. So tell me a little bit about where you're from and how the place that you grew up in influenced your own music.
I'm from I was born in Boston and I was raised in Long Island in central New Jersey. My parents were originally from Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and then they moved down to America and they both became optometrists out here. And so I grew up in a household. So while I was from New Jersey, I grew up in a household that was traditional, that was not like my parents were from a different place. So we were kind of discovering America together and learning about the culture here. And I was learning about my own culture from home. And I think it informed a lot of my music taste because I came from a background that like my mom and dad would play a lot of like compa music, which is Haitian dance music, which is like the popular music in Haiti. And
nice.
They would play that, but also like I would hear stuff on the radio, and I was doing theater at the time, so I would hear a lot of like musical theater and stuff like that. And I had my own music taste growing up, which was like I played in a punk band in high school. So awesome. All these different mixes of genres kind of just I grew up with a lot of different kind of genres overall.
What was the name of your punk band?
We were called the Waste Bandits.
The Waste Bandits.
Yeah, it was actually really funny. The director of Can't Say in One Place, the music video was actually the bassist for that band. And we've been working together. So we've been working together since I was like 13 years old, which I think which is why I think made the music video so truthful. Because it was like, okay, like we've known each other for this long. We have so much to talk about. We have so much to draw from.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you said you started with him when you were 13 years old. What about the other people that helped you create Dax Next Door? How long have you worked with them or known them?
Right. So the two people that I mainly worked on Dax Next Door with were my we had a lot of people featured on it, but the main person was Theodore. He was
Okay.
he was my executive producer. And I think I had known him for about 2 years before we started working on Dax Next Door. I'd met him when I was 19, and I think when I met him, I remember telling him like the moment I like saw you and the moment I saw you work, I was like, I want to work with you. And he's great. He's made my job a lot easier, and he's made working with him has been a dream because all I have to do. I wasn't before that. I was fully producing everything myself. I was fully mixing everything myself, and
So
everything.
did he help you with the producing aspect as well?
Absolutely. Like my job became like making the blueprint beat, like telling him and communicating to him like, okay, like this is the thing that I'm trying to make. And he would take that blueprint that I've made and then build upon it, flesh it out, add different ideas and stuff like that. And it became really fun because I liked the collaborative aspect of it a lot better because for me and for him, we both had to exercise like killing babies sometimes and being like, okay, we love this idea, but we have to let it go. We have to kill this baby. And I think
we have to kill this baby.
I know. That's workplace chat. Like out of all the workplace chatter, like. But I think that was the most exciting. I think that was the best thing for the product in general. That to be like, okay, we like this. I like this idea, but what's going to be the best thing for the product? What's going to be the best thing for like what we're trying to go for in the long run?
Exactly. Yeah. So besides Theodore, who else was a big not really. What am I trying to say? A big part of the production of Dax Next Door. Sorry, I've been drinking a lot of coffee. I'm kind of jittery right now. It's 1:30 in the morning.
So I'm right there with you. Austin Day, my manager, was also a big part of that. He's a person we had met through NYU. We actually worked in the same gym at NYU, and
nice.
He was a sports management major at the time. And I think me and him, we threw a fundraiser at around the summer, around the time that like Can't Stay in One Place was out. I threw like a fundraiser for the music video for Can't Stay in One Place.
Oh, that's awesome.
We sat down for like a month, like sitting down and like strategizing like how we were gonna do this party and stuff like that, and how we were gonna get it together. And it went really well. And from there, from working with him, I was like, I really like working with you, and I really like thinking up different ways to make exciting things with you. Let's keep working. And so the first project that we did together was like the East River State Park campaign, and then on the Dax Next Door campaign. And he's sort of been the person that I like plot with overall.
Okay, that's awesome. So he was more of the kind of the funding side aspect to the album.
Not really the funding aspect, but like the strategizing aspect. He was he was sort of he's management overall. So he's the person that I would sit down with and be like, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is what I have. What's the best place to put this overall? Whereas this is the goal. What's the best way to get to that goal overall?
Okay. What are some of your speaking of goals? What are some of your short-term and long-term goals for your music career?
Long-term goal. I want to be able to reach as many. I think overall, I want to be able to do work that can reach as many people as possible. I want to make products that can be a part of people's lives, no matter what form that takes. Because there are certain songs. The reason why I want to do music was because there are certain songs that I would listen to growing up that like it takes me back to prom. It takes me back to like there's a song that I would listen to that would take me back to like a vacation I had when I was 5. or like it would take me back to a mixtape that I received senior year of high school. And I think there's something really special about like the relationship that we make with songs and the relationship that we make with music overall. And I want to be a part of people's story in that way. Like I want to make songs that could be the soundtrack to your life or someone else's life and stuff like that. And if I could do that in ways beyond music, all the better.
Definitely. So you mentioned that you are just looking to kind of connect to this audience, not even through just music, but through other creative aspects as well. What other creative aspects are you currently working on? I know we talked before about you had a voice acting gig with Pokemon, which I'm super jealous of. That's awesome.
Yeah. Recently, my most recent job was I voiced the character in season 22. Episode 3 of season 22 of Pokemon Sun and Moon Ultra Legends, and that was a dream come true. Like
that's awesome.
It was like for me, as I think 5-year-old me is giving like current me a high five right now. Like it was a major dream come true. But I've been working in voiceover for I think since I graduated college, and Lisa Ortiz, the person who voice directed Pokemon, and who was also like a voice acting veteran overall.
Yeah.
She had seen me work a bunch of times, and she had seen my music. She had seen like a lot of different ways in which I work. And one day she was just like, "Hey, we have this part. Do you want to come in for it?" And I did, and I got it out inside like an hour and a half, and I'm on Pokemon. It's crazy.
You're on Pokemon. Oh man, that must be a good feeling. Did you watch the episode on air? Is it aired yet?
It's aired. It's out. It's episode 3. You could watch it. You could stream it on Disney XD. You could also stream it on Disney Now is the name of the streaming service. If you have a cable provider, you can stream it from there. But
nice.
It is out. The episode is called Sparking Confusion. If you're looking for
Sparking Confusion. All right, I'll have to check it out. Don't give me any spoilers, but what's kind of the basis of the synopsis of the episode?
Basically, what happens is that Ash and his friends are I can tell you about my character. My character is mining for spark stones, which are these things I have for which are these stones that you could like turn over for profit and stuff. Huh. And Ash and his friends are trying to protect those spark stones because the Graveler were there. Because the Graveler, which is the Pokemon, that's theirs. Like they were there first, and it's theirs, and they sort of need it and stuff. And I'm like, nah, like this is for me. Like, yeah, like keep your nose out of my business. This is mine. So that's all I can really say about it. Like without spoiling anything, but it's really fun, super fun.
That's awesome. Ensued. So what would you say? So obviously you said 5-year-old you would give yourself a high five. What would be 5-year-old you's favorite cartoon at the time on like across any kind of platform?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob
for sure. Like SpongeBob seasons 1 to 3 were such a sweet spot, because I think the reason why they were such a sweet spot is because we're around the same age. Our friends still sort of speak in SpongeBob references.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Like I run into somebody and I could be like, I Wumbo, you Wumbo, and then someone else will go, he, she, me, Wumbo. Like that. That's exciting, and I think that says a lot about the.
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument. Exactly.
I mean, like that sweet victory moment over Super Bowl, like the fact that we campaigned that so heavily, I think it says a lot about the love for this show overall.
Definitely. I just wish they would have actually, had it as the Super Bowl halftime show. I can't even remember who played this year for the halftime show, but I feel like it would have been a whole lot better. Yeah. Oh no, that's who it was. It was the guy from Maroon 5, right?
It was Adam Levine. It was Adam Levine.
Yeah. Oh, the memes after that were truly amazing.
Give me one. I'm still on the line. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna plug in. My phone is at 1% right now.
Okay.
My 1% right now. I just want to get to it.
All right, I got you. Yeah, it's
still here.
All right. Well, it's kind of the connection's a little iffy, but
second.
All right, we'll kind of play around with it. Why is this not? Hello. Test 1 2.
This test 1 2.
All right, I think we're good. I think maybe turn this one down a little bit. Okay. Nice. So, how you were born and raised in New Jersey, right?
Born in Boston, raised.
Oh yeah, that's right. Born in Boston, Long Island. So, would you say that you have a lot of New York artists that you would kind of look to as like an influence, or?
I have artists from, to be honest, I've had artists from all over the place, just because I grew up with a lot of different music from all over the place overall. Some of my 3 favorite artists are Kendrick Lamar, who's from a completely different coast. It was a huge influence on music. And I think the reason why is because his storytelling is, I just love the way that he told stories overall. You could listen to Good Kid, Mad City was the first album that I got on vinyl, just because I wanted to sit down with this album and just play it all the way through. And he was great at taking songs that could live on its own, but then also be a part of a larger story and still, it still makes sense overall.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. I also love Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder, I think he just creates worlds in his music, and I think that that's super exciting to me. I listen to Music of My Mind, and if you play through Superwoman and get to that 3 or 4 minute mark, and it becomes this completely different world, that's exciting to me. That, those kind of stuff and those kind of arrangements, especially in production, was really, really cool to me.
Yeah. So, do you play piano, or what kind of instruments? Do you know how to play any instruments like that?
I grew up playing piano. I grew up playing a little bit of guitar. Mainly, I'm a singer. That's the best instrument that I have. But
yeah, I mean, if you listen to Dax Next Door, you definitely can hit those high notes very well.
It's the one that I think out of all the the music lessons, voice lessons was the one that stuck over the most.
Well, that's
I'm
glad it did. So you said Kendrick. What would you say with your specific music style? Are there any artists it's obviously very different from, like I said, anything that I've really experienced before, but there are some kind of genres that I would kind of categorize it in. What would you say that would be for your music? More R&B or hip hop, because it's a really nice blend of that and alternative.
I take from a lot of genres. I think when me and Austin describe it, we always say pop music.
Pop. Okay.
Yeah. And the reason why is just because that's where we want it to go. Overall, I think pop at its best, we were talking about it the other day, but pop at its best is some of my favorite instances of pop music has always been a mix of all these different genres. Lil Nas X's song "Horses in the Back" is exciting for me because it's country meets hip hop.
Yeah.
And you still get the best of both worlds out of it. And
definitely,
when it's done well, you could see it the way that mix tells us where we are at that time. And so I always like to call it pop music.
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. But yeah, I mean, I would say, have you ever heard of Mac Ayres?
No.
It's more of a R&B. It's very I wouldn't say similar in any kind of way, but it's got that same really chill kind of beat. But then some of your songs I can't think of the name of it. I know Sac Passe is just it goes pretty hard, and that's one of my favorite things too, is when you have a really nice chill song like that, and then just picks up, and you're like, whoa, where did that come from? So, what kind of projects are you planning for the future? Any kind of other albums or music videos?
I we just we've been working since top of January, or I've been recording since top of January,
Oh,
and
nice.
we just wrapped a shoot over like back in March. I don't want to
Okay,
reveal too much yet of what we have planned. I
that's
always
fine.
like
Yeah, reveal whatever you want to tell everyone. It's cool with
absolutely,
me.
absolutely. But all I can say now is stay tuned.
Stay
Reason
tuned.
why we're kind of we I like operating inside like the surprise party protocol, just because
Uh-huh.
what that means is like the way you get to something affects how you take that thing
Yeah.
overall. Where if I was to tell you, like for example, if we were actually throwing a surprise party and I was like, hey, like this a surprise party is coming tomorrow, and then the surprise party happens the next day, you would be like, oh, I knew that already.
Yeah.
So I want to protect that surprise overall.
Uh-huh.
But we have stuff coming soon.
That's awesome. I cannot wait to be able to hear it. And what else? So it's 1:43. Okay, we got a few more minutes here. Let me ask. Okay. What about how is this kind of music received by like your crowds? I'm sure you probably go out and do these concerts. How is that experience? Is that a little bit different than just recording? Like I want to hear about how the crowd is receiving this kind of music.
It's been fun. That's
Yeah.
all I can say. I just came back from Boston University, and
Oh,
we just did
nice.
a show. We just did a show out there. It's been a blast. Like playing live. I'm a theater kid, so like being live overall is very exciting to me, and playing to an audience is very exciting to me. But just seeing a crowd dance and mosh to your stuff is anything. Like I go crazy on stage. I feel right at home on
Just full of
stage.
adrenaline and like ready to go.
Oh, totally, totally. And I'm in general, I'm a big fan of like music festivals. I'm a big fan of concerts. So like
Nice.
I any opportunity to see something live, because I feel like the live experience is just different
Oh
overall.
yeah. It's
So
much more like immersive. Like you have, the artist, whoever is up there is working off of the crowd's energy, and it can change the
yeah,
entire outcome for good or worse.
it's a give and take. It's a
Yeah.
tango for better or for worse. And when it hits, it's exciting. When you find
Yeah.
that marriage, it's super fun and free. And
Can you think to any experiences that you've had where it didn't quite hit as well as you thought it would, or maybe like it was like so bad to the point where you were like, wow, that's like not I'm not even mad because that's like kind of funny because like I know um, I've done a stand up a few times, and I have a lot of friends that do stand up, and a lot of the times, man, it's just some things just don't connect to the audience at all. Like you tell a joke, and people are just like, "What the hell? Like, why would he say that?" And then
oh
you're just
yeah,
like, "I'm like,
bro,
how am I gonna recover from this?" Have you experienced anything like that?
yes, yes. I do improv, and
Oh,
I
nice.
had
Yeah.
around before the album was even made. I did a show at the People's Improv Theater, and we were working, and I think we were. There was a moment. There was a moment where I was kind of distracted. It was like our opening night, and I told all of my friends like, don't come to this opening night. Like wait until we have our stuff together and
Yeah.
then come out. And then one of my friends showed up as a surprise, and
Oh,
it
geez.
threw me off immensely. Like I remember seeing their head in the crowd, and at first I was at peace. I was coming out, and then like I saw like their silhouette, and I just like I lost all motor functions. I was so nervous. I was had a mild crush on this person, so I think that affected it. But I
Oh.
pianos and like it was I was super clumsy, and I
Oh my
think it
god.
helped. I believe that it helped because I feel like it freed me later on, just because it was like okay, like that front was gone,
Yeah.
but it was that that was whatever I think of like clumsy live moments, that's like something that comes to mind. I'm just like, oh snap, that person is there, and I just ended up bumping into a piano 3 times. It became a hit. I bumped into it 3 times.
Oh man. So you said you do acting and improv and stuff like that. When did you get into to doing that kind of stuff?
Around the same time as music. I never really saw them as different things, to be honest. Like I
could almost agree with that.
Yeah, where it's like for me at least, they do the same thing. I think it's a way to be part of people's lives. I just saw Endgame. Robert Downey Jr. has been a part of my life since I was 11 years old. So
I could definitely agree with that. All the way from the first Iron Man, I remember being in like, oh God, was it like 4th grade when that came out, and like everyone was going crazy about it. And now it's like he's finally, spoiler alert, he's finally done.
Right.
Hopefully, someone's watching it. You know, if they haven't seen it, you know, it's been a few weeks. You know, you should have seen it.
Right. Spoiler alert, guys. Retroactive spoiler alert. But
I said it before. We should be good.
Okay, go.
What did you think of Endgame?
Oh, loved it. It was. I think after watching those movies for 11 years, and after. I think it was really special because it felt like an event. It felt like that movie. Like, what was cool about Endgame, what was cool about Infinity War is that, like, I had friends who called out of work in order to see it, who bought tickets a month in advance to make sure that they secure a spot. Yeah, and, like, prepared for this event. And I love that. Like, that reminds me of like when they talk about when they talk about Jaws, they talk about how like people literally like
lined up around the block for days.
Because people literally like lined up to see this movie and to see this event. Yeah. Same thing with like something like Stranger Things, where it's like people stayed up. With this last season, people stayed up until 5 a.m. just to watch the entire thing and to have their week. It's cool to see a moment like that happen. It's cool to live through a moment like that.
The last time I could really distinctly remember like a crazy opening night for like a movie or something. I think it was Star Wars: Revenge of the Sith, which you know I love Star Wars. It's probably my top favorite series because I'm just a huge nerd. And I was in like 3rd grade or something. I went to go see the opening night film of that, and like everyone was dressed up and had lightsabers, and it was just spectacular. And I feel like that doesn't happen that much today. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
there's not like crazy events going on like that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's crazy that we don't really see that as often anymore. I think we see it in different ways though. Like I see like with whenever something premieres on Netflix, like or whenever like a new season of Stranger Things come out, I see it happening with Game of Thrones right now.
Oh yeah,
like I don't watch
people having all these parties.
Yeah, I don't watch Game of Thrones personally, but I have friends who do, and it's very similar. They plan out like, okay, like this episode is coming out, and I have friends who like dedicate like a good chunk of their Snapchat story to just talking about Game of Thrones and like going in on it and being like, all right, this is happening and this is crazy.
What's it with you? You just don't like it, or you just haven't got around to watching it?
Honestly, haven't got around to it. I feel like when I watch it, I'm gonna love it, but I just haven't got around to watching it yet. But I like events like that. I want to watch it because I like events like that. I try to do that with my music, and I want to do that with my music as much as possible that I can make. I think.
How do you kind of plan on having that kind of connection to your audience with releasing your music and stuff like that? Like, how are you gonna plan on doing those kind of events?
I kind of treat music like the event, to be real. Like whenever I go, that comes from theater, and I think that comes from my theater background. Like because when it comes to theater, you could listen to the Hamilton soundtrack, and you could listen to it anywhere, but to experience Hamilton, that's something that you drop money to get that once. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I think that kind of presentation of it, it could have existed any other way. It could have been executed inside a way that you could get it all the time. But real value of it is that like it's presented in a way that's like, okay, you can only get this once. And I treat music like an event to sort of shine a beacon to that later. Like I tell people, like when I was releasing Can't Stay in One Place, when I was releasing East River State Park, and when I was releasing the album, what we decided to do was not tell people that we were releasing it, but just put a date up on Instagram. And then like not tell people what's going to happen on that date, but just let people know, be here on this date or stay tuned for this date.
Awesome.
And then we drop something, and then we drop something on that date. And I think that's really exciting because it gives you there's a runway to the thing rather than you just get the thing, rather than just like a poster that says like, oh, you're gonna get this tomorrow. There's a runway to whatever that is, and then like you get it.
Yeah, you get a nice build up, a little bit, more attention, which helps the official release of the music. I kind of
exciting.
Yeah, and your Instagram too. You're every day you're posting something about a lot of Dax Next Door, but it's constant. I'm always like, man, he's got a real, either you do this yourself, you do an amazing job at social media, or you have someone else that does a really good job. Because I'm always looking at it and I'm like, I feel bad that I don't post like this every day.
Thank you. Yeah, nice. I think I always get really excited about I treat Instagram like a billboard, but I always get really excited about like an artist who sort of, like, for example, like I like Childish Gambino. I liked him a lot in high school. I mean, I liked him a lot in college. And I remember when the music video for Sober came out, he just put a link on his Twitter, and he was just like, there was a countdown, and all you saw was that countdown. And you didn't know. For me, I think it was Pacific Standard Time, and I was in Eastern Standard Time, so I was staying up extra late to see what this was. And by the time it came out, it was a music video, and it was exciting because I took time. For me, getting that countdown was like I took time out of my day just to see what this was.
Like you had no idea what you were going to get, and so it was a nice surprise.
And it was a great payoff because I would have treated it differently if he was like, oh, you're going to get a music. Hey guys, we're going to get a music video tomorrow. See you then.
Yeah.
Like, kind of nice to get like, okay, I'm going to present you with as little information as possible so you could have room to like interpret and to guess what it's going to be, or to get
like you said, that kind of surprise birthday, that awe factor of like, you don't know what's coming, but there's going to be something.
I think being able to work like that is very exciting. I want to keep giving people events worthy of that.
Yeah. Do you have any I mean, I don't want to give anything away about your new music or whatever, but have you been working with any other artists that you hadn't worked with in the past?
Yeah, I could talk. Yeah. I've been working with, shout out Carter Ace from LA. He just came out with a song On God, and I had never met him in person, but I just found him through an Instagram ad, and I think we both looked at each other's Instagram. We were just like, "Oh, you're popping." And it's like, you're really cool. And I think in both ways, I really loved his work. I really liked his sound and stuff like that. And I was like, "Hey, do you want to be on this? Do you want to be on this incoming thing?"
Yeah.
And so we have a song together. Kamau from New York. His name is Mao. He just came out with a song called Soggy Toes. And
Soggy Toes. I like it.
He just came out with a song called Haba Na Haba. And he's great. He's just like he's straight from Kenya. He's one of the most intelligent, well-spoken people overall. And he's a filmmaker, but he also makes music and his own R&B stuff on the side. And we just actually recorded on Saturday. And
Hey.
so really it's just been going around, and really it's just been working in a lot of different ways, I think is the best way to put it.
Do you feel like the more that you work with these different artists, it does it shape a different kind of outcome for the music that you didn't previously have intended?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think what's really exciting about working with other people is it always it leaves room for growth. I
Uh-huh.
think I like work that takes a village a lot. And I think that what makes things special is other people, like when everybody knows what you're making, like when everyone knows what they're making, but they're add their own twist into what they're making. Like if every like it, I think that that's really exciting to me overall. Like
Yeah.
I've seen that's what kind of happened with like Can't Say in One Place and like all the songs on Dax Next Door, where it's I started off with a blueprint of like this is what I want and this is what I want to make and stuff, and bringing other people on board brought it to a whole did like succeeded in doing that thing that I wanted, but
Yeah.
also brought it to a whole new level. So
I think we can wrap this up tonight. What do you say? You got
I
anything else you want to say to the audience?
stay tuned for more. That's all I can say
Stay
right
tuned for
now.
more.
I'm pumped for what's gonna come. I'm pumped.
Me too. Where can we find your music and music videos?
You could find it right now on Mosiah.jpg. That's my Instagram.
Okay.
My Twitter is official Mosiah. I don't tweet that much yet, but you could follow me on there as well.
All right.
And you could find all of our stuff, our music videos, our incoming show dates, our music, everything under the sun that we make on Mosiah.net.
Well,